The next little thing I'm going to say might be controversial. You may not like it, but it's my honest opinion. Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. In this video, I'll tell you about foreigners just can't seem to stay out of trouble in the Philippines and other parts of Asia. Mary Jane Veloso, a Filipina sentenced to life in prison in Indonesia, is set to return home. Philippines president has a friendly phone call with Donald Trump, and all the usual stories from Thailand that will leave you scratching your head. Now, I watched a video from yesterday. I noticed I had pretty low energy, so hopefully this video is a little bit better. If you guys want to go ahead and support me with that, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Here's our main story. 3 South Korean nationals wanted for operating illegal online gaming sites were arrested by the Bureau of Immigration in separate operation Metro Manila. The 3 are being held at BI detention facility in Taguig City awaiting deportation and will be blacklisted and prevented re-entry into the Philippines. Kim, the first guy, is wanted by Interpol and has been charged in South Korea for operating an online gambling site since 2014, converting gambling funds into crypto and distributing winnings. Siu, the second guy, Min, and Kim Young-soo, the third guy, faced arrest warrants for managing over 23 illegal gambling websites, generating a profit exceeding $1.4 million. Whoa! Yeah, a lot of times criminals think they can come to the Philippines and do what they want, whether they be from China, South Korea, wherever, all around the world. But it looks like the Philippine authorities are really stepping up their efforts to try to capture a lot of these people. And staying with the Bureau of Immigration, it's been a while since we spoke about Chinese nationals. 37 Chinese nationals working illegally at a construction site in Cotabato City on November 13th. The workers were in construction at a mall in Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in a Muslim Mindanao. While most had 9G working visas, they were petitioned by a different company violating visa conditions. Some had no documentation and others only held tourist visas. The operation, coordinated with the armed forces and other agencies, led to the arrest of the workers, all of whom will face deportation and will remain in the BI custody. The new commissioner, Viado, warned foreign nationals against working in the Philippines with the proper permits. You know, working in the Philippines is not that easy. Even people with just like McDonald's jobs have to go through a very stringent type, is that a word? Basically an interview process. They need to have like criminal background. You know, they even do blood tests and medical in the Philippines. I thought that was really interesting. I found that out. I wonder why there were so many medical facilities within like BPO regions and IT park and all that. But you know, they get checked up regularly, I guess. They want to make sure that, I don't know, I guess... Now that I think about it, why do they get regular medical checkups to be a call center agent? I don't know. Some girl told me, and it kind of surprised me. So maybe you guys could tell me. Of course, I think they want to be sure that if they're mingling with each other, that they're being safe. But I feel like that is a private thing. But then again, I don't know. Let me know. What do you think of that? That the employer makes you do regular medical checks, even as a simple staff or service or call center person in the Philippines. I got lost in all that. My point is, yeah, it's difficult enough to get a job as a Filipino citizen, let alone having illegal people coming in here and working, pretending to be tourists. And no, a YouTuber is not working illegally. I know my rights. I can do this in the Philippines. Don't worry. Next up, on November 20th, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced that Mary Jane Veloso, a Filipino woman sentenced to life in Indonesia for trafficking illegal substances, will soon return to the Philippines. After more than a decade of diplomatic efforts, the Philippines government successfully negotiated with Indonesia to bring her home. Veloso, arrested in 2010 and sentenced in 2015, had received a temporary reprieve after her recruiter was arrested. The Philippines government has long sought clemency or a transfer for her to serve her sentence in the Philippines. Veloso's mother expressed concerns about her safety in the Philippines, citing past harassment and the dangers posed by international syndicates. More on this story and my thoughts regarding some of these laws, but let's go ahead and read the next story that's similar to this, and I'll tell you guys what I think about some of the stuff. Manila Regional Trial Court sentenced businessman Mark Taguba, Irene May, and Tadad and Dong Yi Shin, alias Kenneth Dong, to life imprisonment for their involvement in 2017 importation of 600 kilos of illegal substances worth 6.4 billion pesos from China. The court found them guilty of violating the Comprehensive Dangerous Act and so on. The trial also led convictions for customs-related offenses, with the accused facing additional sentence of up to 40 years. Other co-accused are still at large. These stories are a reminder for anyone traveling to some of these Asian countries, Indonesia, Singapore, anywhere really. I mean, the country is not the problem, but some of the laws are extreme. And if you think you could come here and do some stuff to make some extra money or partake in some activities maybe you shouldn't be doing, just keep that in mind, that if you get caught and you get sentenced, you could be faced like a long time, you know, ending you in a prison somewhere. The next little thing I'm going to say might be controversial. You may not like it, but it's my honest opinion. Firstly, yes, illegal narcotics, substances, all this stuff is bad. I don't agree with it. Breaking the law is bad. I don't agree with it. But some of the sentences I feel that are just not fitting the crime. it is way too severe to end someone just because narcotics come on, what's going on here? And mainly because big corporations, pharmaceutical companies, big pharma do this regularly to hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of people losing their lives because of the stuff that they prescribe, that they make legally. So that's what bothers me. Or like you got Boeing that does this kind of stuff knowingly and causes hundreds of people to lose their lives, and that's okay, right? Just because the way they structure stuff, they don't go to prison, nothing happens to them. But one person makes a mistake or does something, I know it's bad, like I said, but I just don't see the connection between the crime, the sentencing, and this is why I'm bringing this to you guys. So please stay away from that stuff. Entertain yourself some other way. There's a lot of things to do here. But I've always kind of like been mad, I guess, about how certain people, corporations, and like all these people just get away with committing crimes at a very high level, but individuals, public people, have to basically get the book thrown at them. Anyways, I know it's very controversial. I don't want to start like a big debate or whatever, but what do you think of all that? And still in the Philippines, a very friendly and very productive phone call, says President Marcos. The president of the Philippines said he and U.S. President-elect Donald Trump discussed the country's alliance and their desire to further strengthen their relationship in a phone call yesterday. Just another quick story from the U.S. Democrats and HDTV rights advocates expressed outrage Tuesday after a Republican lawmaker introduced a measure that would ban the first openly transformer person elected to the U.S. Congress from using women's restrooms in the building. Okay, what do you guys think of that? Okay, so the rainbow person cannot use a woman's bathroom, supposedly soon coming. I'm sprinkling a little bit of US news in here sometimes. Let me know what you guys think of that. Should I continue? Do you mind? Do you care? Do you not mind, as long as it's interesting? If it's brief, fast? Share your thoughts, because, I find some of the stuff interesting, and of course a lot of us can relate to it, being from North America, Canada, US, of course, and Trump being elected, the new president, is big news. So let me know what you guys think of me sprinkling a little bit of US and Philippines related, or just US related, motorbike related news on this channel. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Okay, let's take a flight with the Philippines airline. On Sunday morning, a Philippines airline Boeing 777-300 en route to Manila made an emergency return to Vancouver International Airport after taking off an hour late. The aircraft turned back over northern Vancouver Island and landed safely, where it was met by fire crews and first responders to deplane passengers. No injuries were reported and no passengers were hospitalized. Wow, so I'm glad nothing happened. And then 2 Australian tourists are being treated in Thailand for suspected severe alcohol poisoning after consuming tainted drinks in neighboring Laos, Australian media reported on Tuesday. I guess these guys were partying a little too hard. I plan on going to Laos probably soon, maybe within the next 3 months or so. I've never been to Laos. I cannot wait, because I'm just new country, new excitement for me. But yeah, just when you're drinking, be careful. A lot more drinking stories coming up right now. And let's head on over to Thailand. Thailand recorded 30.6 million foreign tourist arrivals from January 1st to November 17th, and these tourists spent 1.43 trillion baht. That's over $41 billion, the tourism ministry said on Tuesday. On Monday, State Planning Agency, the National Economic and Social Development Council, said 36 million foreign visitors were expected this year. There were only 28 million visitors last year. Can you imagine that? 36 million people visiting Thailand annually. That's fantastic. It's great news for them and their tourism industry. However, over 36 million people, they're going to have some bad stories, and these are those stories right now. The next few stories are directly from Tiger, a major news source for foreigners and expats from Thailand. Big shout out to them. I didn't want to go and do independent research, so this is the source, Tiger. Starting with a drunk British tourist in Pattaya night out. Okay, so a British tourist night out in Pattaya turned chaotic after a brawl with 2 locals who offered him a ride home. The man, reportedly drunk, allegedly started an altercation, leaving him injured. The police are reviewing CCTV footage to determine what happened. This incident highlights the risks of alcohol-related conflicts. And then some illegal substances were found in a Buddha statue. Thai authorities seized over 100 million baht worth of illegal substances hidden inside a Buddha statue in Nakhon Phanom. This case highlights the inventive tactics of traffickers and challenges law enforcement faces in combating these networks. And then a shocking incident in Pattaya again unfolded when a Russian woman was attacked by a Bolt motorcycle taxi driver after she asked him to slow down. The victim, 41-year-old Anna, suffered injuries during this incident. She provided video evidence to the police, who are now actively searching for the 20-year-old driver responsible for this. An eyewitness intervened during this, ensuring the safety of the victim while the attacker fled the scene. This case adds to the growing concerns about passenger safety and recurring violence by some Bolt drivers. Yeah, this is not the first time. Bolt does not have a very good reputation now. Not just the motorcycle taxis, but also the taxis, the car version of it. A lot of stories coming from Thailand. And then in a disturbing incident took place, guess where? Pattaya on November 18th when a man was caught out in public near the Paniat Chang intersection. Come on, man. The act was witnessed by 36-year-old Bu, who recorded the incident, on her phone and provided supporting CCTV footage to the authorities. The man, believed to be in his 40s and riding a blue motorcycle, targeted female pedestrians. Police are now investigating. I'm not even gonna read this, man. What are you doing, bro? Come on, buddy. You stay on your balcony, look down if you want to do that kind of nonsense. I don't know. I guess some people get off on some weird things, but yeah, I guess I don't know how to finish that story, but now you know. And now it's time for a segment called Yesterday Today, where I read some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Retired Duke says PDF files shouldn't even be allowed to have passports, let alone be allowed to leave the country. Agreed. Chip Chap says, nice to hear aid is coming. Hope it will arrive to help those really in need. I hope so too. I hope it actually makes it down to the people that are in need. Rest in peace, British man, says B. William. And lastly, Alfredo says, as a Mexican-born naturalized U.S. citizen currently living abroad, I'm following with concern the anticipated shift in migration or immigration policy under former President Donald Trump's proposed deportation plans. His intention to ramp up deportations and remove millions of undocumented individuals from the U.S. is certain to face substantial obstacles. From a logistical standpoint, deporting millions of individuals is a formidable and likely impossible task. Given the sheer scale and costs involved, the consequence of such an effort would be profound, with many families facing the trauma of separation. This push for mass deportation would lead to unprecedented wave of legal challenges, tying up resources, creating extended court battles. Furthermore, we can expect some state to resist or outright refuse participation in this initiative, creating a patchwork of compliance and further complications and implementation. This plan will undoubtedly have significant financial impact, not just on a federal level, but on local communities as well. It's a complex issue. Thank goodness somebody said it so I didn't have to think of the words. I just don't have the brain capacity to articulate myself the same as this gentleman did. I agree. Although I think a lot of people are excited about this idea, that's your right to feel it the way you want. I just don't see it being practical. I don't see it actually happening, at least not to the degree where some of us actually think. For all the reasons Alfredo just said, it's just too much of a task. I think it's too late to stop the bleeding. The best I think that could happen perhaps to just make the border a little bit tighter. That's just my opinion. Leave yours down below regarding this or any other story we covered today. If you take the time to write it, I'll take the time to respond. If you enjoyed this video, haven't had a chance to subscribe, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, maybe even share this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.